Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I'm shooting this as a video, but also Supreme being the podcast. Appreciate all the support, man. It's crazy how many downloads we get. This podcast, I think last year I got over 500,000 or more downloads or more. I need to count again, but it's just been crazy. So I appreciate the support for all of you listening and pushing the message. As always, need any help, reach out to me, schedule your strategy call, get on the email list, jump on our free public Discord as well. We also have a members only section as well. So you have a lot to choose from. You're interested in Real Brokerage, the new brokerage that I moved my team over to. I've had a lot of you rock stars hit me up. I've already moved over a few brokers, big teams. Appreciate you guys. So like I said, keep a lookout for the wave coming of all the tours and events. I mean, it's just incredible and exciting. Man, we're moving mountains over here. It's really exciting. So I wanted to come on and explain to y'all success logically, right? Accomplishing goals, right? Whatever it is. I just put success, achieving goals, because that seems to be the buzzwords that people just run to, right? So how do we explain this logically? Because it's explained to people, then in the moment when they get confronted with the reality of what needs to be done, who they need to become, action steps they need to be taken, emotion takes over, temporary delusion, temporary discomfort stops them from doing what they're supposed to do. And then they become a statistic like most people, whether that's life in general, real estate sales, careers, anything, right? So how do we explain this thing? Well, a story I recently told, literally just now in this video that I made, I thought was very good to illustrate the point, because it kind of clicked in my mind in regards to how I was explaining it, right? So let's take a look. You have the blueprint given to you on what you're supposed to do. Okay. And this one, it's a business example. This is earlier on in my sales and real estate career, right? And how one win that I got in one moment, right, ended up blowing up and becoming a huge win because of an accumulation of things that I had done correctly, and basically action items and steps that I was taking and things that I was doing when I was supposed to do them. So again, let's take the top down bird's eye view on this thing and really open it up for you so it's just clear and anybody can understand it. Okay. So, and I'll also break this down for the non-real estate people who listen in case there's any terms you don't get. I'm doing door-to-door canvassing, which is a method of lead generation and prospecting in real estate and in sales in general, in most categories, right? So one of the objectives for me every time I went out was, hey, if I'm meeting people who are not interested in purchasing a property, investing in real estate, or selling their current property and moving right now, like if they're not interested right now, but we have a good conversation, which as you get more skilled happens more often. If they're not ready now, a mistake that I made early in my career was forget it. Here's my card, bye. I'm looking for the person who wants to do a deal now. You need to mature from that. You need the hustle, but you need to mature from that. I said, I need to start capturing their information. So through the dialogue, I would capture their email, their cell phone number or numbers if they had more than one, their house line. I'd get their address when I walked away, right? Because these people would be touched frequently, email, text message, video, phone call, right? Send something in the mail once I had the budget, right? They were getting touches from me because I'm branding myself to these people. Long term, this is one of the many strategies to help you explode your clientele and your business. It just takes methodical application, consistency, and the right systems, which a lot of people refuse to learn and implement, right? So I'm moving down the line, right? This is December of like 2014 or something, right? This is very early on in my career. I'm like a year into the game, maybe a little bit more. Well, you know, I'm doing my thing. Those people, I met them, right? Now, again, I didn't know much about them. We had a good conversation. They're in my database. They're one of a couple hundred people in my database. Well, you fast forward, I think 6 months, something like that, roughly. I come across another couple who I meet going door to door, who we meet. I just happen to catch them at the right time, meaning I knock and they're like, hey, we're actually thinking of, we were just talking about, hey, we need to sell the house because we're really thinking about moving. We want to retire. I'm like, hey, the stars aligned. I just happened to come here the perfect day. Boom. We set the meeting on that initial conversation for 2 days later. Right. Then I pre-qualify them. I do all this stuff. I go. Tough one. One of the toughest of my career, which I've explained in other videos, right? I don't want to just give all the details here because it would turn into like an hour-long video. Toughest one, but I get it, right? I get it. Good price, full commission. We're done. Okay. Now, what allowed me to get the opportunity? Preparation and all the things I had done. Okay. And this is just the beginning of the story. What allowed me to show up at that meeting and get the contract signed was a huge accumulation of all the skill work I had done, practice, role play, coaching. I mean, had I not done all that stuff, I would not have been prepared to take this listing. It was, to this day, the toughest one I've ever taken. I mean, it was almost as if they were given a manual before our meeting and told, hey, this is every objection you can give a real estate agent. Please give it to this guy coming in. I mean, the husband was trying to size me up the whole time, looking for even a brief hint or moment of weakness, which I never gave him, right? I mean, I executed flawlessly. Was I perfect? No, but man, I really executed great that night. And for being new, when I walked out, with my colleagues, I said, this is why we work as hard as we do and we pay the price, right? It's for moments like this because it just got us this deal. Okay? So that was just that. Now, we agreed, hey, we're going to give him 2 weeks to fix up the house, get it ready, whatever. I send out a feeler to my database, right? Well, hey, lo and behold, the people that I had met that December, 6 months before, that new home that I got is next door to the wife's uncle's home. And they're like, hey, we're going to stay in the city, but we want to move, right? And it wasn't even that wife's. Actually, it was. Sorry. It was the wife's uncle, but her sister wanted to move there. So it wasn't even the people that I met. It was their sister. Now I remember, right? Because this is like a web. So the sister, right? I connect with that wife that I met. She plugs me with her sister and her husband. We start talking, right? They say, hey, we want to buy it. However, we need to sell our house here from the next city over so we can move there. Okay? Look at this new opportunity now. I talked to the original listing that was coming soon. I said, look, let these people look at it. Their uncle lives next door. This is a slam dunk. I'll get you the asking price like that. They come, they look at it. They love it. We put the deal together. Now I just double-ended a deal. Let's pause there before we even continue to the other wins that I get from this. What got me that? I could have still sold the house. What allowed me to now represent the buyer too? It's the correct action and following the systems and everything I had done before, 6 months before. I'm now being rewarded handsomely for something that I was supposed to do 6 months ago. Now we're starting to stack the wins. The original listing, now this opportunity of selling it to my own buyer, which doubles up the commission. Because if you're not in real estate, I took the listing at 6%. It was a $650,000 house. That totals to, if you do the math, a $39,000 commission, right? I would normally cut that in half. I just got the full commission because of the proper action I did before. That's what's called double ending it, representing both parties. Okay? Now, if you remember what I said, the lady that I met, her sister who's purchasing the house, she needs to sell another home that she owns. So now I just got another listing, add another win to it. Again, that was a $450,000 house that I got at a 6% commission. Now, I didn't represent the buyer on that one. However, at that one, we did an open house event. Again, I'm just stacking the wins here. At that open house event, one of the neighbors there comes and wants to sell his house, he mentions to us, and we set the listing appointment to sell his house, which is right on the corner, right? Now, more wins came from this, but I don't want to draw this out too long and be like, look at me, I'm so cool. But all these successive wins that I stacked up on top of this initial listing taken, and you can really analyze this for many things that you do, but all of them are simply this. They're an accumulation of proper things that I did, skills that I learned, having put in the work to be prepared for a moment, taking the right action at the right time, saying what I'm supposed to say, doing what I'm supposed to do, showing up, right? An accumulation of all the things that you're given in that blueprint that I initially had mentioned to you. And the more that you follow that blueprint and do exactly as you're told, the more chances you have to not only have success, but what I call, like in these moments, bursts of mega success. Because these are the types of wins, when you stack them like this, that literally change your fucking life. Dude, in that string of deals, not only did more transactions come and just a huge just uptick in my business, but in that 30, 45-day period, I made over $100,000. I'm brand new in the business, bro. I'm a year and a half, 2 years in. I string together like 5 or 6 transactions. I mean, boom. Now, I had changed my life before that, getting into the career and seeing the money that I made in certain moments and checks I was getting. But that just transformed my mind, my income, my perspective on the future. I mean, so much. Then I was like, okay, I really need to, and then it adds more fuel to the fire. I mean, it's just, but when I look back, everything was done correctly. The people who came before me who said, do this, do that, get on the phones, get a coach, right? Work your ass off every day, do this, do that. I did everything they said. And to this day, when I go back to a lot of my mentors that I still have to this day, coaches, and I ask them, would you put me at the top of the list for students? I'm not going to say the best ever, but like top 5 notable students for just effort and consistency showing up. And they're like, hell yeah, bro, for sure. You're one of the standouts. Absolutely. And for some of these mentors, I'm still like their poster child. So it's not a surprise now that when I start teaching and mentoring now and coaching, my shit's blowing up and exploding. I first earned that by being the master student, one of the top students. So it's not a surprise that now I'm one of the top coaches in what I do. And then I'm churning out a bunch of successful students. But I'm saying, look, this is what I did. This is what you need to do. But this is how you do it, y'all. This is how I take these moments of success and turn them into bigger wins. Now I'm getting the same wins as the other people that are working hard, but I'm getting even bigger wins that put me leaps and bounds ahead of them. This is how you separate yourself, y'all. This is, again, the logical version when you look at it. Now, in the moment, does this solve the emotions and things that you deal with? No. But it gives you the proper perspective and mindset to say, hey, I need to see past, work past these temporary discomforts and emotions. Why? Because the payoff is more than worth it. And I'm telling you from the position of having achieved it many times, year over year, time after time, it is worth it. You'll never talk to anybody who says it wasn't worth it. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. This is how you turn a success into a mega success, okay? But I want to make this short, powerful, and sweet. There you go. You guys have any questions you want to ask me, find out about my stuff, need to schedule a strategy session, click the link below and schedule your call. Get on our email list. Check us out over at Reel, schedule a call. Get on our Discord link. All the links are below. Appreciate the support on the channel here and also for Supreme Being. We'll see you guys on the next episode. Peace.